Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's been 1 year since America fled Afghanistan. What did we achieve and what did we lose? Let's take a look. The US invaded Afghanistan in 2001. They spent a vast amount of money, dropped a vast amount of ordnance on the people, occupied the people and used every means available to them in order to force freedom and democracy on that people. Its initial aim was to remove Al-Qaeda, but this objective changed over time to regime change and also to nation building. After 20 years, they failed in all their objectives and had to humiliatingly exit from Afghanistan. They failed in regime change and they failed in building a new Western-friendly state. So what can we learn from this? Despite the wealth and the power of the United States, they were unable to enter Afghanistan without the help and support of the Pakistani regime. Without their help, the invasion would never have happened. America wasn't able to go it alone. America is clearly not all-powerful. Despite having the largest army and the largest economy, it couldn't win over the poorest nation in the world, which didn't even have an army, air force or a navy to defend them with. The US was only able to maintain control by bribing a tiny elite and using fear to keep the people in check. America couldn't bribe, buy or convince the Afghan people, and so after 20 years had to leave in utter humiliation. And it's not the first time. Vietnam still haunts the American psyche. Yes, it's embarrassing, but it also undermines any claims that they have that their values are superior to other people's values. Rather, it has always been down to might in order to force their agenda and values on another people. And in this case, even that failed them. And its power elsewhere is similarly achieved by bribing and using fear in order to get its way. If you spend billions and have nothing to show for it, it demonstrates serious incompetence. The treachery of Musharraf, which allowed America to enter into Afghanistan, is now clear for even those who might have doubted it initially. How could America, unable to defeat Afghanistan, even contemplate attacking Pakistan, which has a competent army, navy and air force at their disposal? And it's this spineless leadership that exists in Pakistan that allows Pakistan to be dominated and subjugated by outside powers. So the failure was not just down to American incompetence, it was also due to the resilience of the Afghan people who derived their values from Islam. Contrast this with Japan after World War II. Not only had they been militarily defeated, but the Japanese people accepted the failure of their civilization and therefore they wholeheartedly embraced the American culture and the Western values. The Afghans never accepted the Western American values and they resisted that occupation. And so you cannot bomb your values into another people. However, the American failure wasn't the only failure. There has been a failure of leadership in the Muslim world, especially in Pakistan. Despite the wealth and power of the United States, they were unable and incapable of entering Afghanistan alone and needed the support of Pakistan. Had they not extended that support to America, they would never have been able to enter Afghanistan. The US ability and reach is limited, and it is only due to the slavish support of the puppet regimes that support the American agenda that allows them to have a reach and a power which goes far beyond their real ability. Today, the US is weaker than it has ever been. The West is divided, so the era of coalitions is no longer a reality. Russia is tied down in Ukraine, thus loosening its grip in the Central Asian republics. With this reality as it is, Pakistan could do a lot. Pakistan could immediately unify with Afghanistan. Afghanistan is not capable of solving its problems by itself. It needs the support of its neighbors. The tyrannical regimes in the Central Asian republics are no different to the American puppet regime of Afghanistan, which fell so quickly. The support for Islam and unity in the region far outstrips the support of these tyrannical rulers that exist in those lands. An opportunity exists to remove the American elite that rule Pakistan. If the Taliban can remove the American elite in Afghanistan, then there are people far more capable in the Pakistan armed forces that can do the same in Pakistan. A new state can emerge and break away from the Western world order and the Western institutions like the IMF. Just withdrawing from the IMF alone would allow Pakistan to redirect billions of dollars to invest on its people and its infrastructure. Money otherwise collected in taxes and sent off to the IMF. So the Pakistani elite tell us that we need America. Rather, it's not that Pakistan needs America. America needs Pakistan in order to achieve its objective in the region. So the Muslims of Pakistan don't need America. Rather, it is the elite that need them to keep them in power and in order for America to achieve its objectives against China. Slavery to the Western world order will continue to keep the Ummah divided and weak. The world is desperate for change. The Muslim world is desperate for change. So not only is Afghanistan and Pakistan and the Central Asian republics in need of Islam, the whole world is in need of Islam. The growing crisis in the West shows the failure of capitalism. And it's only Islam that can create a harmony between people and the environment. And it is our role as Muslims to deliver this Islamic vision by re-establishing the Islamic Khilafah state in order to take humanity out of darkness to the light of Islam. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.